Hi, my name is Julia, and this video is about some of the things that narcissistic abusers do to their victims. And this is my first video on this channel that I just created for this purpose. And the reason I created this channel is basically just to share with you my life experience with a narcissist that I've been in a relationship with for about 15 years now. Broke free from him a couple years ago. We were married. We got divorced, and he still kind of is lingering because we have children together, and I feel like, anyways, I'm a very empathetic person, and I certainly don't want my children to be apart from his father. And I guess with the videos, I'm going to try to post videos here every once in a while to kind of share with you some of the things that I'm going through, and maybe some of this will be familiar to you. Maybe my goal is for me to share with you so that it might be helpful to you to see what's going on in your life, because I am aware, and I'm definitely awake now of what I've been going through all these years, but I still have a hard time accepting some of the things, and still learning about this personality disorder, and I'm not even sure exactly I understand everything yet, but I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, I've joined the support channels, and anyways, let's just get to the purpose of this particular video, and I'm going to try to keep them fairly short. I mean, there's people that have a lot more experience than I do and know much more, and my main goal is that my ex-husband has found a new victim, a new source for narcissistic supply. And he kind of keeps going between the two of us, and the other lady, she's a very nice lady. She's not been very nice to me because I tried to make her aware, and I've tried to reach out to her and kind of tried to talk to her. But she's very insecure, very sweet, very empathetic, but she's also very insecure, and so that translates obviously into lashing out at me when injustices are done to her by him. So we're in this triangular relationship, which is, by the way, what I've learned. Some of the things that narcissists do, they kind of introduce a third person to your twosome so that they can then bounce around as their needs are met. So I'm just going to record videos whenever something happens, and I'm going to post them here, and you can just listen to them, watch them, observe for yourself, and kind of make up your mind. Because for a long time I actually thought that I was seriously going crazy. I thought there was something seriously wrong with me. I've went to therapists, I went to support groups. I thought my narcissistic husband at the time was just an alcoholic, so I went to the Al-Anon groups, and it seemed like, it seemed like every time he was around, we were in some alternative universe. I mean, where the normal rules of engagement between people did not apply. And today is Friday. Let me just give you a little bit of a background. We're divorced now. We've been divorced for a couple of years. We have two children. They're one is a teenager. One is still a couple of years away from being a teenager. I did receive full custody, and he has very limited visitation rights, extremely limited, like 9 hours a month on 2 separate days. But I felt like the amount of time that is designated for him to see his children was not enough for the children. So I always offered every single weekend for him to see his kids. Let's do something, let's meet, let me just bring the kids to you, whenever he's with his other girlfriend. And by the way, that's like a whole nother story. I can just go on and on about their relationship and some of the things that I've heard. but my goal was always to bring my kids together with their dad in positive interaction, and it's just getting more and more difficult, and it's just it seemed like that over the years the narcissism and the abuse have gotten worse, and the more I woke up and the more I became aware of it, the more the abuse increased, basically, because we can't go no contact. I would like that. I've tried that, actually, and I can tell you stories about that, what happened, because that was a big blow up. But we do have to communicate at some level. Be that as it may, it is Friday today, and usually that is the time that we have made some sort of agreement on the weekend plans, and him seeing his kids. It's not his visitation weekend, but I still offered for him to see his kids. I've been giving the silent treatment now since last Sunday. Last Sunday is when he saw his children last, and on Monday I sent him a message, and it basically said, hey, what are you doing next weekend? Let's go ahead and pre-plan it. I was thinking maybe to get out of town, to go like an hour away. It's like a nature trail, and go hiking with the kids or whatever, or if you want to go there by yourself, that's fine too. And let me know what you want to do with them so I can plan it earlier in the week, so I can make the phone calls, arrangements, whatever, because I have a business to run. I have a real estate investing business. I also have a vacation rental business, so I can't always leave. But I've been given the silent treatment now since last Sunday. I was the one that texted him last on Monday. It was a nice message. It was not insulting in any way. But it's been pretty much silent treatment all this entire week. And by the way, for the longest time, I thought he must miss the children. He must miss them so much. And, I'm standing in the way for him to see his children. But just one thing that I learned is narcissists do not love their children, at least not in a way that normal parents love their children. Their feelings do not function like those of normal people, and this is what I've learned. You may go out and say, hey, I miss this person, I want to call them, I want to talk to them, I want to connect to them. Their feelings of love are not the same. And in fact, one time I was in a location, a whole separate story, but it was myself, his girlfriend, and him. And his girlfriend asked him on that occasion, is Trenton, and I'm going to say the name, obviously, so you know the name, but what do you think love is? And he had no answer. He actually had no answer. I mean, if somebody were to ask me that question, I would know immediately what to say. It's caring for the other person, is making sure that they're advance in their life, or thinking about them in a loving way, and really being empathetic to their situation, and also wanting to spend your life with them, and wanting to make plans with them. And I mean, there's a lot that is involved with what actual love is, but he just had a blank stare. I mean, he really actually did not know what to say. He was absolutely baffled by that question. I didn't ask the question, and shortly thereafter I left that place anyways, because it was getting very uncomfortable. But that's just an example. So what I've learned and what I've read on all these forums and support groups is basically the fact that narcissists don't love their children, at least not in a way that normal people do. I don't even really know what else. If you have any comments on that, or if you have any examples, feel free to post them at the bottom of this video. But in any case, we're in silent treatment. Silent treatments happen quite often, and this is the reason we had a silent treatment here. Is this last weekend, he did show up. He spent a little bit of time with the kids on Saturday, and I basically said to him, okay, everything's cool. He was very, very upset because I actually started dating somebody new, and that translates to a narcissist as to rejection. Now, mind you, we've been divorced for many years. We're not together. Unfortunately, we had a couple of run-ins in that we did get intimate since we were divorced, and I regret that now. But narcissists have a way to hoover you back in and make you feel special, and and that's how they work. But in any case, this last weekend, he approached me again, and he tried to get close to me, and I sent a message to his girlfriend. I said, look, I just wanted you to know you're a good person, and he's not a bad person. I don't want to say anything bad about anyone. So I said to her, look, this is what he's done to me. He's approached me again. He tried to touch me, and I thought maybe you should know. Now, she's absolutely unaware of the situation and his mental she's obviously aware there's something wrong with him, but I don't think she has any clue whatsoever. And she's definitely in the idealization and love bombing stage with him, so she's not going to listen to anything anyone says. And she's been through the roller coaster several times like I have, and I can't help her if she's not willing to listen. So I'm making this channel and these videos to see if maybe somebody else can find my videos useful, and please correct me, because I certainly don't know everything about this condition. I'm just here to share my experience. So this is what's going to happen next, because narcissists do not go away. You can give them the silent treatment, you can cut them out, shut them off. If you have children, they're just not going to go away ever. And so I'm still trying to grab with the fact that, okay, I need to make the cut, because I have the power here to discard completely. But we do have children, and I think at times it is useful for them to all get together and spend some good quality time. So I am available, obviously, to facilitate that. So what's going to happen after this silent treatment? Silent treatment is now Friday. It's been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 days of silent treatment. No response to anything I send. Never answers any phone calls. I mean, this is my personal problem with all of this, is if something happened to my children and I would have to call him, there's no way I could get a hold of him. I would have to try to find his supervisor's name in the directory, because it used to be my supervisor, and try to track him down that way. And even then, he probably won't answer the phone. I mean, he absolutely has disregard for anything but himself, and many people have told him this. But in any case, in this particular instance, silent treatment now for 5 days. The next thing that I'll probably hear, and mind my words, because I'm going to make another video, I'm going to get a message, and the message is going to read like this. Hey, how are you doing? How are the kids? What are they up to? Something like really sweet. So this is like the sucking sounds. Like, hey, I'm such a nice person. I didn't just give you the 5-day silent treatment and did not respond to anything at all that you said. But I'm like the nice person. I was like, hey, how are you doing? How are the kids doing? What are they up to? And I can almost, I can to the dot even almost tell you what the message will say. And total disregard. And what they're going to want, what he's going to want is a reaction from me. And the reaction that he wants the most is either, first, a good reaction, which is, hey, missed you, the kids are great, they've been doing this and this, blah blah, something sweet. Or they want like the bad reaction, which is, what the hell, have you not called me? Like, I've tried to call you, I tried to text you, where the hell have you been? What the fuck? But either one of those reactions is fine with him. It doesn't really matter which one, because either one is fine. They just want a reaction, and they want it immediately. So if I slack in any way, the second message will be, well, I guess you must be busy with your boyfriend, so that's why you're not texting me back. Or, I guess you're controlling things again. Are you being that control freak again that you are? I just asked how the kids are, and you can't even respond to that. You don't even have enough willpower or personality, or you can't even communicate with me, and I'm like, I've been trying to communicate for the last week. months, years, and now I am being ghosted as to be the one that's not communicating. I'm like, I'm not the one that's not communicating. So that's what's going to happen. So the best thing that I've learned anyways, and this is what I plan on doing anyways, is to totally go, I guess, Greystone. I've read that somewhere on some of the forums, is to go Greystone and basically just give a very brief answer, if one at all. If he wants to see the kids, I'm gonna respond to that, obviously, but not gonna get emotional, either good or bad. I mean, to totally stay neutral and flat, and they hate that. They so totally hate that. I actually did that the weekend before, and he said he's coming over to the house and he's gonna see the kids at 12 o'clock noon. I'm like, okay, sounds good. You know, I'm just gonna make sure that, you know, my company, I had company, is gone by the time, my boyfriend, and that way you know, there's not like my boyfriend sitting around here while you're visiting with the kids. So right there, you know, he's like, oh, well, then you need to bring the kids to me. And I'm at my girlfriend's house right now, so I'm like, okay, well, we had agreed to a time and a space and the dates. We had agreed on all of this like days before that, and now at the last minute you're going to change it because I agreed to your demands. So I said, this is a good thing I did. I'm actually proud of myself. I said, well, okay, I'll bring the kids to you then, but you have to wait a little bit because I need to take a shower, and it's, you know, Saturday morning. We're kind of slept in, so we're not quite ready yet. Or rather, you know, it was actually afternoon, but I hadn't planned to leave the house. I thought he was going to come here, pick up the kids, and take them somewhere, and I would have some me time. But now, you know, I have to jump up and get dressed and bring them somewhere else because all of a sudden the rules have changed. But I agreed cheerfully and didn't even say anything, and he did not like that. I mean, he absolutely really didn't like that. This was like absolutely, it didn't help him at all. So anyways, this video is about silent treatments. I am a veteran expert on silent treatments. I cannot tell you how many times silent treatment was played on me. In the beginning, it was very extremely hurtful. I mean, I cannot even tell you how painful it is when you keep trying to reach out to someone and try to reason with them, and they're just cut you off. And this psychological warfare, emotional warfare, this person that has just been love bombing you every single day, message after message, and a link to this YouTube thing, and hey, I thought about you when I saw this, and this, and that, and then nothing for 4 days, nothing, no answer to a phone call, no answer to a text, not a single word for several days. And it's like, what the hell's happening? What was happening is he was with his other narcissistic supply trying to woo her. So we're going back and forth, but I'm finally aware to this after having gone through this for I don't know how many years, and I'm finally realizing that that is what's going on. So subscribe to my channel. Won't be much here yet. I do have to say this, that about a year ago I was in such messy despair, I guess you could say. My head was just a mess. And I've made several videos of some of the things that happened a year ago. I have them on my private channel, so they're not visible to anybody in the world, but I will post those videos with time so that you can see what happened. I also have made videos of him while he was at my house and just blatantly lying to me. And I've even asked him, I was like, hey, can I record this? And he said, sure, you know, and then he's like, I am not ever going to go see the other woman. And sure enough, it's like he was with her like the next day. It is so blatantly, I mean, the lies, if they move their lips, they're lying. That's just all there's to it. And, you know, I can't help the other victim of this particular narcissist. Maybe I can help you. And that is my goal with these videos. And anyway, have a good day, have a good weekend. I have my weekend planned out with people that are not narcissists and have good intentions for me, my life, and my kids. And I am not going to let this beat me and him beat me again. But at the same time, I want to help whoever's watching this. So let's see how long the silent treatment lasts, and I will make a video as soon as I get a message from him, I guess.